Hello. Are we
Hi.
live? I think we're live.
We're alive. I hope we're live too.
I'm having to do technical stuff here for some reason. Uh-oh.
Whoop.
What's going on? You talk to them while I do technical stuff.
I'm going to talk while Maura does technical stuff. Welcome to show number 150, 150th anniversary. Who would have thunk when we did that first show that we thought would be the only one because the pandemic was going to last for a week or two, that here we would be doing, 4 years later, doing our 150th show.
It's our 150th anniversary.
Yeah. And it's our 150th wedding anniversary, too, which you were well preserved. It is our 30th wedding anniversary. And we thought, for several reasons. One, it's midsummer. Two, we live out in the Hudson Valley now, where the outdoors is readily available to us. And three, because there's so much tumultuous stuff going on in the world right now, politically, culturally, with the polarization, and also environmentally. We thought a perfect theme would be the great outdoors.
The great outdoors. And it looks like my technical stuff is okay.
Yeah.
We're streaming these days to, or attempting to stream to other outlets like Instagram. So I was turning that on, and we had been streaming to Twitter, but that doesn't work. So, but you're here, and this is like our main place.
If you are a regular viewer, you probably know that Maura is not only the lead singer and also a songwriter, but she's also the technical director and producer of our video shows.
That's why it's so slick.
Well, you get compliments all the time on it, and I agree with them.
I'll say if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, that's great. But if you go to YouTube, we have a really vibrant
That's the best
chat window here. People talk to each other. They all know. In fact, in our chat room so far today, we have Sweden, UK, France, US, and Canada. I think Germany might be in the house too. So we're worldwide. But we're going to start off with a song. This is a song about the great outdoors. Now, a number of the people who usually watch are at Lake Winnipesaukee this week for the Summer Acoustic Music Week, Week 1. Now, we're teaching at Week 2 in August, which we do quite often. And usually I teach a songwriting class. So the song we're going to open up with is a song that I wrote one year when I was teaching a songwriting class, and I took our class on a walking meditation all around the woods and down by the lake, and told them to really internalize their environment and write a song. Well, in the process, I wrote one as well. I can't remember what album this is on of ours. Do you remember?
I don't know. Someone out there
Someone
will
can
know.
tell us in the chat room. Anyway, this is a song. Actually, no, it wasn't a class I was teaching. It was a class in between my classes that I took from Bob Franke, great songwriter, and he suggested that everybody write a song based on their work. And he went around the room and asked people what they did for a living, and he knew what I did for a living. And he said, "I bet you're on the road a lot." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, write a song about road signs." And I thought, oh, what a terrible assignment. But I took it, and this is how it turned out. The song is called Signs.
Can I just say, as a little bit of a setup,
Yes.
that you progress in location during this song.
Well,
Because you start, I'll just say where you start. I don't want to do any spoilers. But when you start, you're driving to camp.
yeah.
And you progress from there. That's all I'm going to say.
I wanted to get to camp. I didn't, when you're at summer camp, whether it's this one or another one or any vacation, the last thing you want to do is think about your work. So I took his assignment, but I abandoned the sign at the first line of the first verse, I think.
Yeah.
But it leads to the whole rest of the song. It's called Signs. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. This highway's littered with signs, taxed with tolls and fed by fines. Yield and merge converging
I love that in just, what is there, three
verses.
verses, you go from driving,
It's from West, our West album.
you go from driving up the highway in New Hampshire to, by the third verse, you're jumping in the water at the beach.
And there's a nice big, what do you call the floaty thing out there? What do you call it?
The floaty thing.
That
That's what it's called. The
We
floaty
swim
thing.
out to the floaty thing. And
The raft.
The raft,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm old now. I forget what rafts are.
But I love the way you take the listener with you.
Well, I didn't want to be on a highway in this song. And I will say I really love the way the rhyme scheme turned out. Because it's kind of complex. And when you come up with a rhyme scheme that's complex and you want it to go all the way through, sometimes you have to cheat. But I was able to see it through to the whole.
Yeah.
So
That's a totally crafted
That's a victory
song.
for me. Hey, Pete, you're going to do a summer song.
Yeah, speaking of song crafters, George Gershwin got the idea to write an American themed opera. And what he did was he went down in the middle of a really hot summer like this one, down to South Carolina, I think, to the Sea Islands. And there's Georgia Sea Islands and South Carolina. Because he wanted to actually live in the Gullah culture, African American, but very African culture there, and really experience what life was like at that time. It was around someone will know the exact date, late 20s, I think, and then he collaborated on the lyrics with DuBose Heyward, who was a really great lyricist who really knew that culture. So anyway, they came up with the opera Porgy and Bess. And the most enduring song is one that so many people know that they don't even associate it with the opera anymore. It's just a classic song. And it's a really nice guitar song. And so I'm going to play a little rendition of it for you. And it's called Summertime. It's got this great chord. Clean that up a little bit.
Yeah. That is one cool version, Pete.
Yeah, I tried to figure out the actual George Gershwin chords.
Yeah, because most people, when you hear people sing it, they really
It's usually
simplify
done
it.
with regular summertime. And the living in this, you're jumping and the cotton is on.
Yeah, yeah.
But Gershwin had that chord. just says
it feels swampy.
Yeah,
It feels
it's
humid.
Like it's hot. And
Yeah.
And then Fisher jumping at the cotton is on high.
That's so cool.
That chord, that's like the Jimi Hendrix chord.
Yeah.
Cotton is high.
Yeah.
And that's your augmented chord. And then this little line. And then this is a beautiful little chord change here. Now D major, D minor. Because that
Yeah.
going down, it's very poignant, I think. And this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another guitar lesson. Impromptu guitar lesson.
I love those Gershwin chords.
And this is also the moment where we put our little basket out for those who like to help support the show. You've helped us keep the shows going, and you can do that by going to paypal.me/thekennedysmusic or venmo.com/the_Kennedys. Of course, these shows are always free, always, but we sure do appreciate your support when you do support the show. All right, so what's next on our... now this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
So
cool.
we're going to do a song we've never done before, and this is a song that we were asked to record for a tribute CD to a group from Syracuse, where I'm from. These are old friends of ours. I knew them even way before I even met you, when I was a teenager, and they were my favorite musicians. And so, and they played at our wedding, in fact, 30 years ago. So, of course, we said yes. This is a song, and it figures into our theme of the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Written by Arty Lenin for the group The Flash Cubes.
Yeah.
And so that project is in the works right now. But we recorded the song last week, and we thought since it's still fresh in our minds and it goes along with this theme, we are going to do it for you now. This is called Walking Through the Park.
Could ever end.
Yeah. You know
That's
what
a good song.
You know what I noticed about this song? I know that Arty, the writer, is into the Raspberries. All those guys are.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was figuring out the song, I realized that in the second line of the chorus, wishing it would last forever, let's pretend. Baby, let's pretend
Yeah.
we will always.
It's a
They
quote.
use a little. I love quotes like that, and it's under different chords, so you might not notice it, and then when you do, it's like you just found a little treasure in the treasure box.
Yeah. And then the intro and outro, because Arty's a guitarist, they're like a bossa nova.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's like a Jobim.
Yeah, and we sort of, when we did the recording, there's a little bit of a Jobim kind of feel to that too. So very cool. Look for that. I'm not sure what the compilation's going to be called, but it's going to be a tribute to the Flash Cubes. Really great Syracuse band. They should have been, well, they are international. Actually, they've got a big following in Japan and all that.
Now, when you're walking through the park, you would encounter a lot of vegetation, right?
Flowers. Yeah.
That's my segue into
Your
the next
segue?
part of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do my vegetation before you play it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
Vegetation show and tell.
It's show and tell time. So the tomatoes came in, started coming in this week. I have so many varieties. I'm going to show you what I picked these this morning. This is a beefsteak tomato. I pick them when they start to turn red. You can still pick them, and they'll ripen inside. That way, it leaves the energy of the plant to grow the ones that are still green. So you can leave these on the counter until they're nice and red.
And that's the way that a vegan can eat beefsteak.
This is a
That's a watermelon.
I think this one is one of my Cherokee purples. Now this is not
think it
quite
is.
ripe yet. This will turn a purple color, and when you slice into it, it's like looking at a jewel, like a shiny jewel.
Those are
You know,
great.
some tomatoes are mealy inside. These are like slick jewels, and they're so good.
That's that's like those pictures, Alaska. There's a little kid holding like a squash
Yeah.
bigger than him.
And then I've got a couple of what do you call them? Heirloom tomatoes. I got these seeds 2 years ago at the Colorscape Shenango Festival in Norwich, New York. At the very end of the festival, we were backstage. They had a really great backstage hospitality area. And they knew we were hitting the road, and they said, do you want to take anything with you? And there's this one really big heirloom tomato. And I said, yeah, can I take that? And it was so good, I saved the seeds. So it's my second year of growing those. This is my new discovery. This is a black cherry tomato. And I got a lot of these. These are so sweet and so delicious. I also grew some classic grape tomatoes. And I believe these are my pride and joy, though. These are the first, this is the third year for these. These little guys are called Everglades tomatoes. They grow wild in the Everglades, and they're ground cover. Mm-hmm. And our friend Donna in Florida gave us seeds. Oops, it's right, it burst open.
You're just gonna have to eat it.
Oh, it's so flavorful. If you get enough of them, you get the best sauce in the world. She gave some to her sister who lives in Boston, who planted them in the ground, and the next year they came back automatically.
They're swamp plants.
So even though they're Florida,
they're survivors.
They'll come back
Even up north.
in Massachusetts. So I got a lot of tomatoes here, and I make a mean pasta sauce. And we have one more veg.
Yeah, another vegetation.
Should we show that now, too?
Yeah, let's do it now.
All right. 2 years in a row now, Vicki Davis has sent us a crate of lemons from her own lemon tree in California,
Yeah.
Davis, California, named after Vicki Davis.
Named from Vicky, of course.
And but this year I decided to save some seeds, and I tried to plant them, and look what I have! 1, 2, and a little tiny one here. 3 lemon trees.
From seed.
Very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet.
From seeds in California. So
We're
you've
not going to do lemon tree though.
So we've got Florida, Everglades tomatoes, California lemon trees,
Yeah.
and also I have a couple of show and tells too.
You do? Okay.
I have this capo from our friend Joshua
Oh,
in
yeah.
Baltimore. Clip-on tuner from Joshua, who's
Uh-huh.
an expert guitarist. But most notably from North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
this guitar, which was a gift from
Wayne Rogers.
Wayne Rogers. one of our viewers. And it's an Epiphone Casino, which was the favorite guitar of both John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Right, yes.
They both declared, Paul McCartney said if you only had one guitar, and I assume he has many guitars, if he was down to one guitar, it would be his Epiphone Casino. And John Lennon also, in one of those films, you hear him say, Mel, be careful with that one, it's my favorite. So Epiphone Casino.
Now put that down and pick up your ukulele.
Yeah.
While we do, I'll answer one of our chat room questions. Mark Smith asked if we have any avocado. You know, I've never had any luck growing avocados. I know, you put the toothpicks in, put them in water, it might sprout a little and then it rots. No luck with that. So if you have any tips on how to grow an avocado, I love avocados. I am just starting peach pits, and I will update you to see if my peach trees germinate. But right now, since we're talking about the outdoors and vegetation,
Maura requested this one.
It's my fault. And I love your version of this. You recorded a version of this song on your Tone, Twang, and Taste album, I do believe?
No, I think it's on the String Busters album.
Oh, it's on the String Busters album, the ukulele duo album.
And it's a tribute. He didn't write it, but it was popularized for our generation by the great Tiny Tim. Mm-hmm. It's called Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Yes, please. Ooh. There you go. I have to clap. I love that.
That's your request.
I love your version of that.
Did you like the fast part?
That's my favorite part. And I think you should name it to like trampling through the tulips.
Trampling on the tulips.
Trampling on the tulips. I love that.
Yeah, that's the new title.
Okay, now we get to play. This is one of my favorite songs from when I was 7 years old. You can do the math if you feel you must. Should I tell them why now, Peter? Should I wait till after the show? After the song?
I think after the song.
We'll play it first and then I'll tell you why. I'll give you all my reasoning.
We will say it's a song by the great Joe
South, who wrote Games People Play, right?
And Don't It Make You Want to Go Home.
Don't It Make You Want to Go Home.
Yeah.
A lot of cool
and
stuff.
Walk a Mile on My Shoes.
Yeah,
great songwriter.
Great songwriter. From 1971. Ready?
Yes.
I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gotta be a little rain sometime. When you take, you gotta give. So live and let live or let go. Whoa, 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 whoa. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I could promise you things like big diamond rings, but you don't find grayed out. Okay, so I'll tell you why I love this song so much. When I was, I guess I was 7, second grade or so, my elementary school, Allen Road Elementary School in North Syracuse, had an annual event called the Allen Road Rodeo. It didn't involve any rodeo kind of stuff, but it did involve a bicycle parade. So we would decorate our bicycles. And I remember my oldest brother, Joe, who is now a nuclear physicist, wanted to be Big Bird. So my mother helped build a whole Big Bird float on his bicycle. We all rode on the bike. But I wanted to be, everybody picked a character usually, but I wanted to be that song. So I had a bike with a little basket. And
you wanted to be I Never Promised You a Rose
I
Garden?
wanted to be, I wanted my bike to be that song. So I had a little basket on my bike, and my dad, who was an English professor, had one of those flat tape recorders that he used for lectures and things. So somehow, how did you do it back then? Somehow we taped the song onto a cassette, and played it on a loop over and over on my bicycle basket. And my mom and I spent a good solid day making crepe paper roses. And we decorated the heck out of, there were just pink roses all over my bike and that song playing. So I rode through the parade as
that song.
As Rose Garden, as that song.
Not even as Lynn Anderson, but as the song itself.
Well, I didn't even know what Lynn Anderson looked like. We didn't have MTV back then, so
that's right.
It was just, you had to use your imagination. So that was that's why I love that song.
That's one of your earlier public appearances.
It is. It's my second public appearance. The first was the Maura Boudreau show on the front porch. I think it cost a nickel.
A nickel?
My brother collected. Anyways, this is a song that did Maura watch Sesame Street when she was little every day, and also Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Zoom. Do you remember Zoom? I'm straying from this, but there was in the introduction. All the kids who were on Zoom came on, and there was one girl who said, "I'm Maura, I'm Maura." So I learned how to do that. Sorry you had to see that. We got a request from Rock and Roland. Yesterday we got this request. We'd never played the song before, but it was a weird coincidence because about a month before, we were just, hanging out, and Pete said, "Hey, listen to this song." And I'd never heard it. Was it a radio song?
It wasn't one of their big hits, but it was kind of, that's where I only knew it from hearing it on the radio back in the 70s.
And
probably.
when you hear oldies radio, they only play like the number one of the top 10. So if it was lower in the chart, you usually don't hear it on oldies radio. So I didn't know this song, and it's a great song, perfect for our great outdoors show. So last night we learned this song just for you, Rock and Roland. A song that was recorded by Three Dog Night, written by Paul Williams.
Yeah.
Great songwriter. It's called Out in the Country. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever I need to leave and all behind, I feel the need to get away. I find a quiet place far from the human race, out in the country, before the breathing air is gone, before the sun is just a bright spot in the nighttime, out where the rivers like to run. I stand alone and take back something worth remembering. That was a modified manual fade out.
Yeah.
Kind of had a little bit of both.
That's such a great song.
It makes me sad.
It's a very sad song. The first two lines of the chorus are very tragic, I think,
before the breathing air is gone.
Yeah. But for Paul Williams to write that back, I think it's like 1971 or something. And also, it's so different for Three Dog Night, who usually would sing in a real macho soul rock voices. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Well, I've never been to burn. And they totally dialed back their voices so you didn't even know it was them.
Yeah.
They just completely made it all about the melody and the words.
It's a very
warm,
warm, like unison vocal blend, very breathy and warm and respectful of the subject matter.
And the chorus melody uses the tritone, which is supposedly the ugliest interval of Satan and all that kind of stuff. I'm in a different key now, but that second little phrase, you got on the one chord, right? G, we're capable, but and then you go to the four chord, but the melody you sing is F, is the tritone, the devil's interval, but it's so beautiful.
It's like in Moon River.
Yeah, that's the Moon River.
River water. Right there.
Same melody.
And also in
my huckleberry friend.
Yeah,
that can be the prettiest note of all.
They tear your heart out
if you know how to use it.
And it's in West Side Story a lot too.
Yeah, the whole score is based on the tritone,
which
using
is beautiful.
Different ways. And it's all through the whole. Every piece has that tritone in it, so it just goes to show there are no rules. There's only creativity.
Before the breathing air is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, another lesson, another impromptu lesson. Okay, we're gonna do another one of my favorite songs. Again, it's the song of the great outdoors. I have no idea what time it is. Oh, we're fine. It's only 2:40. This is a song written by Stan Lebowsky and Herb Newman. Who are they? They're songwriters.
Don't know.
But I know the song.
The Big Lebowski.
I know the song from Patsy Cline. I'm sure there are other versions. Hers probably wasn't the first.
No, it wasn't the hit. I think it was by like Frankie, one of them, somebody else.
But go find the Patsy Cline version of this. It's so wonderful. And
Frankie Lane, I think maybe.
This is called The Wayward Wind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the wayward wind is a restless wind, a restless wind that yearns to wander, and he was born
that song.
So evocative.
That's a song from when I was a little kid. I loved that song.
Yeah.
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 You almost want to do that
Ooh, yeah.
wind
Yeah.
imitation thing.
How are we doing over there? Yeah. We got some claps. I guess that's good. Speaking of wind,
Yeah.
tell us about this song, Pete.
Is it? Oh, yeah. This is like a favorite Doc Watson. It was a favorite Doc Watson live song, but he learned it from Chet Atkins, and Chet Atkins had learned it from a guy named John D. Loudermilk, who's better known as a lyricist, but he wrote this guitar instrumental. And guitar, if you play for a long time, you're going to end up learning this song. It's just one of the basic tunes.
It's a perfect summertime song.
It fits in with our theme, too. And it's called Windy and Warm.
Now you gotta, I know that's the best ending ever. Do it slow.
So it's fit. You
Wait, do it fast.
You just do an A minor chord, regular old. You go fifth string, fourth string, third string.
Okay.
Like a forward roll. Then you do that again, but this time fourth string, third string. So. And then you add this note, since your little finger's not doing anything, you put that on the second fret, which is, you can do that with the other chords still there.
Yeah.
So you get an A minor 6.
Then you gotta do it for the fast.
Which is the same as the Gershwin. It's that same chord from Summertime.
I'm getting a guitar lesson too. I just love that. Thank you, Pete.
Windy and Warm.
That's the third guitar lesson you've given in this show.
Yeah, it's a guitar lesson heavy show.
But it's fun. It's not like homework. Here's a song. I don't think we've ever played this on the live stream. We're doing a bunch of songs we haven't played on the live stream before.
It's a great
By the way,
song.
we've played over 1,060 different songs since we started doing this 4 years ago.
Wow. And some new ones just this show.
But I love learning songs because, well, it keeps you engaged. It connects new neurons in your brain,
Yeah.
too. And for songwriters, it's great because you learn little techniques like that. I'm sure we could put stuff like that in one of our songs. So you do that. Anyways, but this is a song we've never played. We recorded it once, but never put it out. I don't know why. You do that. You record a lot of stuff. But it's such a nice song by Nick Drake.
Nick Drake. And on the record, it's Nick Drake and John Cale.
That's right, yeah.
From the Velvet Underground. John Cale playing keyboards. But Nick Drake wrote the song.
And it's called Northern Sky. sweet breezes from the top of the trees, but now you're here, right in my northern sky. Been a long time that I'm waiting. Been a long time that I'm alone. Been a long time that I've wandered through the people I have known. Oh, if you wouldn't go straight in my mind's eye. Would you love me for my money? Would you love me for my hair? Would you love me through the winter? Would you love me till I'm dead? Oh, if you wouldn't go, come blow your horn on high. Never felt magic crazy as this. Never saw moons, knew the meaning of the sea. Never had emotion in the palm of my hand. I felt sweet breezes from the top of the trees, but now you're here, right in my northern sky. Great song, isn't it?
Such a great song.
Nick Drake, one of those songwriters that has still kind of has a very small cult following. He died very young. I always kind of think of him as like the tragic male version of Sandy Denny. You know, that English folk, quiet,
Very
songwriter.
introspective.
Very introspective.
And he was a classical musician. He was a clarinet player. And I think on the tunes that have orchestra, he was actually playing his Martin. He didn't play that little Guild guitar that's on the cover of the album that everyone wants to get
Yeah.
the Nick Love.
He didn't
the
play
Nick
that on the
Drake
record.
sound. That was the photographer's guitar that he gave him for the photo. But he was a really accomplished musician. His sister, I think, is still a well-known actor. And if you really want to dive into Nick Drake, see if you can find any of the home recordings of his mother, Molly Drake, who sang and wrote songs just like
him.
just like him.
Just
And
like
he
him.
got it from his mom. Yeah,
His number one influence.
Molly Drake. She never made any records. She was just the mom. You know,
We have
the mom.
about 6 minutes left in the show. Of course, we always go over. We have about 4 songs we wanted to do. What do you think? Should we do them all, Pete?
Sure.
Let's do them all. What the heck? Here's a fun one. right?
This one is sort of about the outdoors.
It's about sunshine.
Although the sunshine he's referring to, I don't think is.
It's nature.
It is sort of, yeah.
It's nature.
We
I'm
love
telling
this
ya.
song.
It's
We've done a few things here and there with Donovan, and he's
He's-
a great guy and just a great writer.
and exactly like you'd think he would be based
Yep.
on his songwriting. Just
Unfair
a-
comparisons people who call him a Dylan imitator. He's a parallel of Dylan. Because
Yeah.
he was already a hipster before he ever knew about Dylan.
very original and groovy.
Yeah, so jam along. It's in the key of D. Sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have dripped out easy, but I changed my ways. It'll take time, I know it, but in a while you're gonna be mine, and I know it. Do it in style, 'cause I made my mind up. You're going to be mine. I tell you right now, any trick in the book, now baby, that I can find. Everybody's hustling just to have a little scene. When I say we'll be cool, I think that you know what I mean. We stood on a beach at sunset. Do you remember when? Well, I know a beach where, baby, it never ends. When you made your mind up, you're going to be mine. Pick up your hand, pick up your hand, now slowly blow your little mind. 'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I tell you right now, any trick in the book, now baby, that I can find. Superman and Green Lantern, they ain't got nothing on me. I can make like a turtle and die for pearls in the sea. You can just sit there thinking on your velvet throne about all the rainbows that you can have for your own. When you made your mind up forever to be mine, I'll tell you right now, I'll pick up your hand and slowly blow your little mind. 'Cause I made my mind up, you're going to be mine. Any trick in the book, now baby, that I can find. That's a good one to fade out.
We've gotten so good at the manual fade out.
Yeah,
It's
it was
very good.
it might have been Jimmy Page playing that on the record, but it also might have been Donovan. He was a really good lead electric
Mm-hmm.
guitar player. He's known more for acoustic songwriting, but he can wail on the lead guitar too.
So we're going to do a song by one of our favorite people in the world who died 20 years ago. Can't believe it.
Wow,
Around 20 years ago, I might even...
still seems like it just happened.
Around this time of year. It was in July. And a fantastic songwriter.
It was a heat wave.
Like Nick Drake, died very young. Died before most people had heard his music. And
Yeah.
everyone who hears his songs is a convert to the songwriting genius of Dave Carter. And this is a perfect song for a planet in climate crisis.
Yeah.
And it's called Gentle Arms of Eden. 2, 3, 4. On a sleepy, endless ocean, when the world lay in a dream, there was a rhythm in the splash and roll, and not a voice to sing. So the moon shone on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single cell did jump and hum for joy, as though to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then the day shone bright and rounder, and the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead, one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. And all the sky was buzzing, and the ground was carpet green, and the weary children of the wood went dancing in between. And the people sang rejoicing when the fields were black with grain, the song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke across the harbor, and there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will, an enterprise of war. But I will lay my burdens in the cradle of your grace, in the shining beaches of your love, and the sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden.
What a song.
I know.
It's the history of the planet.
Of the whole
in
planet.
One song.
Of, yeah,
one song.
starting with the soup, the
Yeah,
primordial
from the
soup.
primordial soup to now.
To now. And,
In one,
and
two,
climate
three,
crisis.
4 verses. How do you do that? And then you have a prayer
Yeah.
for the chorus. I mean,
Which
that's-
is kind of what we're all
a
doing for the
song.
planet right now.
Yeah.
Praying for the planet. Yeah.
what a song.
We're going to end the show with 2 of our own songs that are that go right along with the theme. What album was this one on? Angel Fire. This is a song of ours called Bend in the River. I remember when the Newtown school shooting happened, and I was processing the tragedy of that. I made a music video for this song, and it was in direct response to that tragedy.
And I would mention that Chris and Meredith Thompson do a really great version of this
They
song.
do,
too.
yes, of this song. It's called Bend in the River. 1, 2, 3, 4. Candles are burning in the midnight mission. The past is a flag, the future a fire. Your eyes are ablaze with the fire of wishing. But wishes aren't wings and prophets are liars. So from the water, a circle of magic, circle of magic, a circle of dread. Slip from the banks as the waves take you under. A blanket of lilies covers your head. We come to this place, a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. We come to the water, a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. Lost souls haunt this bend in the river. Fallen gods breathe deep in the banks. Right till the waterfall roars the forgiver. Swim to the riverside deep and give
We come to this place.
a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. We come to the water, a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. We come to this place, a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. We come to the water, a bend in the river, seeking redemption, searching for grace. Well, we've got one more song for you. Thank you all so much for spending this afternoon with us. And we're going to end with a song that we wrote that it was not released on an album. It came out on a sampler. And we wrote this, I believe, a couple of weeks before the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic.
We'd even already recorded it right before the pandemic hit. Yeah.
That's right. We recorded it, but we never put it out on the record. Anyway, this is our prayer for the planet and for future generations, and it's called Heal You. Blow Thank you so much for joining us today. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the planet. It's the only one we have.
Yep.
And it's a miracle that we're here and that we're here together. So thank you all for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.